I am pleased to be able to introduce our keynote speaker to all of you, particularly you graduates today. This is your commencement speaker. There will never be another one. This is the one. Born to a Navy fighter pilot and first-grade school teacher, Matt George's vocations have included international photojournalist, writer, U.S. Navy Special Forces, Emmy Award-winning filmmaker, and internationally top-ranked professional surfer. How's that for variety? On December 26, 2004, when the great Indian Ocean tsunami struck, Matt George launched an aid effort that was to become the model of the humanitarian work he continues today. In this year-long humanitarian effort, Matt George implemented the first early warning system plans and held the first test of Asian tsunami evacuations in the history of Indonesia, with over 40,000 people participating. So successful was his effort that the Indonesian president flew to Padang to meet with Mr. George and discuss the future of disaster preparedness. In January 2005, Matt George started his own nonprofit organization, Surf Zone Relief Operations. Later that year, when Hurricane Katrina annihilated New Orleans, Matt George and his team, under tremendously challenging conditions, proceeded to rescue people and animals off of rooftops and out of second-story windows of schools and apartment buildings. By month's end, Mr. George and his team were recognized by the United States Army, the National Guard, and the civil authorities as being the most effective independent operation in the entire relief effort. In the winter months of 2005, when a devastating earthquake rocked the Pakistan region, killing 73,000 people, Matt George, also an emergency med tech, traveled to Pakistan on his own to deliver over $1 million worth of donated medicine to the highest altitudes, the outer edge of the relief effort. So effective was his mission that by mid-November, the United Nations recognized Mr. George's efforts and invited him to expand his project into a national program. This is what we call effective leadership, folks. Working under the flag of the International Organization for Migration, Matt George is currently working on his next challenge, the creation of a new kind of Peace Corps, the Unarmed Forces, a career-based national movement in humanitarian work. Such an effort would consist of small, nimble, well-trained teams of motivated people that would first respond to any disaster, that is, would be first responders, to any disaster in creative and innovative ways. Because of his dedication as a humanitarian across the globe, his tireless efforts to help others, Cazanovia College is pleased, very proud in fact, that Matt George was able to join us this week to recognize and celebrate the accomplishments of this class. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming my new friend, international humanitarian and Cazanovia College's 181st commencement speaker, Matt George.
Thank you very much for that. Thank you. You know, it took the biggest wave in the world to turn me into what I am today. This was a wave that took 750,000 lives, and it was my epiphany. It taught me what I have the privilege to share with you today, so I'd ask you to listen closely. But not listen closely to me. Listen very closely to your own hearts. And seek to unlock what you truly have to offer this world, or you will drown in what you do not have to offer it. Carry with you not the concept of going out and building the future for yourself, Rather, start building yourself for the future. That's what you've been doing for 4 years. And now is your chance to run it into the end zone. I would like to ask each and every one of you to bear in mind to try to weave humanitarianism into the fabric of your everyday life. I've had the opportunity to spend some time with you students over the last week, and I'm not going to tell you how to do that. You're the most intelligent group of young people I've come across in my life, and I know that you'll figure it out. But bear it in mind and be present with that. The opportunities to do this kind of thing doesn't lie in the feeling of going out in the world and making a difference. I hear that all the time. Oh, you're making a difference. I want to go out in the world and make a difference. The difference starts within. It starts right here. It started 4 years ago when you decided to come to one of the best colleges in the United States and explore yourself and your own heart. That's the opportunity. The difference isn't out there. I've been out there. The difference is in this room, and it's within your hearts. So the difference is what you take to the world. I would also say that it's important not to go out into the world and do just what you feel, but what you believe is right. You don't want to become just another human being doing something. You want to become a human being something with every beat of your heart. I would say don't go where the path would lead. Personally, I would say blaze your own trail. Quite often, some of the best decisions I've ever made was to not ask permission, but to act, and if I had to, ask forgiveness later. But act on what is in your heart. I know you've been attending the school here through some of the greatest natural disasters in the 20th century, and I know that they affected each and every one of you. The tsunami, Pakistan, in our own backyard, Katrina. And I know you felt something, and I don't know what you did about it, but I want to examine what you felt about it. Those are the moments of humanitarianism. When you feel that urge, that first urge, grasp it and hold on to it, because it's a great jewel. If you don't, it will slip between your fingers like quicksilver, that beautiful moment of wanting to care and give. You do not want to lose those moments, or you'll have those soft regrets that will haunt you for the rest of your lives. You'll have empty yesterdays. So hang on to those moments, those first impulses. Well, how it happened to me was when I heard on December 26th, the day after Christmas, the great tsunami hit. I knew that I had some unique qualities as an ocean-based person to go and help. I'm sure that each and every one of you at some time in your life will have that opportunity to be a humanitarian in that way. Something will happen to you and you will know in your heart, I'm qualified to help. And you will help in the right way, whatever that is. I would like to tell you one story about the beauty of it. I was evacuating a woman from 8,000 feet in the Karakoram Mountains of Pakistan. The weather was closing in, and this was in an Islamic republic where men are not, especially Western men, are not allowed to have any sort of communication or contact with women. We got her on the helicopter, her husband was there, and she was terrified. All the noise and the thunder of this great machine. And as we were taking off, her hand came out from under the blanket and reached out for mine. I took her hand in mine, looking at her husband for permission, and realized that in that moment, I had in my hand the entire country of Pakistan, because I'd reached out. These are opportunities that you should look for and that you will embrace and that I know that you have from spending time with you. You will hold the hands of these great dreams. Global achievements are in your capabilities. Go out and make these miracles, because they're your miracles. Let courage, belief, conviction, and dreams be the source of all your actions. Let them be the source of every word you say. Develop a code of conduct and stick to it. And above all, find and face all the duties that the world is going to ask from you. And fight for them as if your life depended on it. Because believe me, your life does. I've spent some time here with my new friends, Bethany, Jenna, Dan, Nikki, Dr. Tierno, Cindy, Barb, Brett, Susanna, who I call Father Steve. I believe he's a reverend. Dacia. I've met some great friends here. And I've taken a belief from the outer edges of the world global aid relief, and I've brought that belief here, and I've found that it wasn't even necessary. I've seen such open hearts and such strong thinkers and people that aren't interested in just going out and making money. I see people who are not going to go out there and slave away. I see people that are going to go out and slave to dreams. Be a slave to dreams, and you will not be a slave. You will become a king or a king. I'd like to try something unique and unscripted. In my years of aid that I've done with this disaster response, I've been to a lot of memorials for the lost lives. And there's been a lot of times when people call for a moment of silence. In the spirit of trailblazing, I would like to change that. And I would like to have a moment of silence with all of you in this room to celebrate and to reflect on not others, but yourselves, who you are, who you have been, who you will be in the world that you're going to affect. So if you would please, observe 60 seconds of silence with me and really think about and really listen to your heart. Join me. Cazanovia, class of 2006. The rest is up to you.